I think by this point, you are all kind of used to the delays on this channel, so I'm not going to beat around the bush with this update video. Let's just get into it. So, why haven't I been uploading as of late? A couple of reasons. First and foremost, the end of the year is fast approaching. It is now the last month of 2024, and whenever that tends to happen, I have to swap over to the end of year highlights. I have to focus down on trimming every single live stream I did this year, clipping all of the best or funniest moments, and then putting them together in a massive compilation with music, edits, all that. And that takes a while. And when there's a big project like that takes a while, that means that my focus on other projects is basically non-existent. Like, I am focusing purely on the end of year highlights at this point. Now, will I be able to get them out by the end of the year? I doubt it, considering how I fared the previous few years, but I still have to try regardless. I still have to see how much progress I can make, and if it doesn't reach that end of year deadline, then, oh well, we'll just post it in January or whatever. Which brings me to my next point of why there hasn't been many uploads as of late, is that before focusing down on the end of year highlights, I also just had a ton of ideas in general for videos. Now, ideas are good. They give me more material to work with, it's good to get more videos, and I welcome any and all ideas. The problem being that too many of them just kind of happened all at once, or very quickly, one after another. Like, the Monster Wild's 5th trailer, The Black Flame, released within the last few months, and I made my thoughts video about that, and said that I wanted to make a video on the story of Monster Hunter, and why wilds could be important about that. And trust me, I am working on that. That is a script that is currently being developed. But I also thought of the idea to make a top 10 list surrounding the 5th generation themes, the favorites for me personally of monster themes, area themes, special themes, all of that. And that's been going pretty well. It's close to being done in terms of script, or like is basically done and just needs to be overlooked and checked over. And then other things happened, like I finished Final Fantasy 16 within the last few months and have been seriously wanting to make a video about it, but I'm not sure what kind of video, if I want to do a analysis video on a certain character, or if I want to do a overall thoughts video on my experience with Final Fantasy 16 as a newcomer to the Final Fantasy franchise, or if I just want to do a top 10 list surrounding my favorite bosses in the game. Plus, not to mention, I actually want to platinum the game. I had a great first time through, and I want to go through it again on New Game Plus. I want to play more of the game. I want to platinum it. Then the Blasphemous 2 DLC came out with all the new content it added. So that obviously puts to the front of my mind the idea of a bosses video on Blasphemous 2 and its DLC, like what I did with the original video on Blasphemous 1 and all of its DLC, ranking the bosses from least favorite all the way to favorite. Then I've been playing other games like Scarlet Nexus, The Last Faith, Ghost of Tsushima, and it's like so many ideas are just popping up one after the other, and it's like, it's good to get these ideas until it's not, when there's so many ideas that are happening one after another that I need to write down in a short Google Doc or list and then just put on the back burner that I will return to later, because ultimately I am one person. I am just one guy who writes, researches, records, edits, and uploads all of these videos. And when you are a single person, you can't really multitask when it comes to projects. You just have to settle down on one project in particular and that's it. That's all that you can really do, unless if you're just like really efficient about your schedule. And like people who have committed themselves to very big, long projects will testify this, especially if they're like a solo player. Like, you can't really multitask. You've got the one project you're working on, and that's that, which is why I brought up the end of year highlights, because I have all these ideas circulating around my head that I'm writing down in Google Docs and I'm making scripts for, but then I'm also having to consider the end of year highlights, and I'm having to swap gears over to that, and yeah, it can be a problem. Plus with me, I also feel that sometimes I can be a little hard to work with in terms of motivation. Like, I'm sure people are well aware just how much I procrastinate and can be lazy or slow when it comes to editing and working on videos. And there's also just the thing that sometimes I just drop a project entirely due to a lack of interest, and it's really frustrating because there are video ideas and topics I want to talk about, but I just never get around to it, or I make the video idea and write it down when I'm in a particular phase, when the game or media is fresh in my mind, and then as I work on other things, it just kind of fades away into the background. All interest of it just goes away, and it sucks. I really wish I wasn't that difficult to work with when it came to things that aren't Monster Hunter, but unfortunately, that's just how it is. So, yeah, that's the short and simple of it in terms of why there haven't been any videos as of recently. And will there be big videos in the 1 month I have besides the end of year highlights? Probably not. I'm probably not going to be making any other big video. I highly doubt that I would even be able to get one out with the time I have and the focus on the end of year highlights. If there is a video, it's going to be much shorter length, way simpler. The only contents that will be coming out in the time until then are the remaining free shorts that I recently made on Rampompolo, Ajarkhan, and the Black Flame, which that is another small thing, because I uploaded and made a lot of shorts back when the 5th trailer was still fresh in everybody's mind, when it was new, so some people may have been expecting me to immediately hop onto the bandwagon and talk about the new monsters, but I thought it would be better to go through all of the already revealed monsters on the list first, before I then make shorts about the new ones. But the shorts have already been made, they've been uploaded, they are using the longer time frame afforded to shorts, which is just an absolute blessing. So, yeah, those are going to be probably the only form of content that come out on the channel within this month, outside of the end of year highlights. Yeah, that's pretty much about it in terms of what's been happening recently with the channel, with the videos, all that. So many of these ideas I want to get around to, and I feel like I will get around to. Like, I will make a Blasphemous 2 bosses video, I will make the video on Monster Hunter's story, and the top 10 5th generation themes before Wilds comes out, because that's like one of the big deadlines or things that's going to happen next year. It's going to be Wilds release in February, where I'm going to be playing and streaming the game a lot, but that's for a future video. Probably best to save all those plans and recollection for 2024 in the 2024 recollection video, which there's a particular thought I have in terms of a certain video with the Sunbreak review, and just how I haven't been able to get to it, and people are probably sick of being teased at this point, but I'm working on it. I finished up the script. I'm just doing a little bit of retooling, essentially, trying to see if I'm proud of the product I made, and if I can change it into something else that I'm more proud of, if there's a different format or structure that I want to do instead of the usual review format with Royal Autopsy, because, of course, I've got some ideas floating around my mind, but yeah, I'm gonna talk about all that at a later date. No point in talking about it here. That is all for the video. So, with all that being said, I have been the Monarch of Dragons, and I hope you all have a fantastic day / night wherever you live. Peace and Coolest Vault.